part two of our interview, with Mr. Rexx. Yes, man. Yeah,
that's right.
Hallelujah. So just now we were talking about chord progression. You said that there's some iconic chord progressions in gospel music. So my question for you is, what are some must-know gospel chord progressions?
If you're playing behind a preacher, or you're doing that aggression playing, you must know the one. The one is always home. We call it home. So you would play the one. The one would go, let's say for instance, we were in A flat. It was an A flat, that's your one. If you were going to from one and you're going to building up to go to the four would be your C sharp. So it would be from the one to the four.
Right.
Then you would go to the five. The five is what we call like the turnaround to go back to the one. So it would be like a flat five. So we call it flat five. So you go to the flat five and that's your, everybody hold. Then you go back to the one. Boom, one. Those are the main ones that you need to know. The one, the four, and the five. Then you can take that same progression when you're in a worship song and the chords change, but it's still the same progression. So if you're doing to God be the glory, right? The one would be to God. Then we'll go to the three, be the glory, four, and then we'll go down to walk back down to the to God. That's the two. Be the glory, walking up to the five, glory.
So looks like we gotta really know the scales in terms of numbers.
Absolutely.
Really well. Because when I play with you, of course we have our in-ear monitor, and then like you said, you will call out, let's do 251 do and then let's do like a 736 and then if I don't know my number system, I'm like,
then you're lost.
Yeah.
I think you had a question of what skill set should we learn.
Yes.
I'll say this, as a musician, learn everything. Don't limit yourself to anything. Get all the training, skill set that you can get, because you never know. Gospel can be classical, it can be country, it can be jazzy, it can be, you know what I'm saying? It could be folk, it could be hip hop, it could be R&B. It's just the style, but the message has to be what makes gospel gospel. Right. It's not necessarily there's a gospel chord. It's the message that makes it gospel. So I tell anyone, get all the training you can get. Most gospel musicians play by ear. So we're not so in gospel so rigid that everything has to be so precise. Right. A lot of intros we do are precise. A lot of, depends on what it is, but majority, most gospel music is filled. It's heart. It's playing together, playing as a unit. And like I say, for me, I play by myself. So unless you come, when you come, it's different. But 9 times out of 10, it's me and a drummer. Right. So I pretty much feel what I feel, and I may play this today, and then next week I may go a different route at getting to where I'm going. So I don't have a band that I have to sit and have to play every per se phrase or progression the same way. So learn all you can. Get and like I said, surround yourself and connect yourself with musicians that are better than you. Don't always feel like you're the best one. If you're the best one in the band, then your band ain't necessarily the greatest band. Find yourself some people that make you go home and practice. Make you think different out of the box.
That's why I keep coming to you. That's why I play so good. So so now we've mentioned about practice and like what to know. So I've been wondering. I mean, do you let's say have to know Hanon just so that your fingers are more fluent, or do you practice scales? What kind of scale do you practice?
I have a tutorial that I do, I pay for a class, online class thing that I do, and I try to do it as much as I can. You know, with family, ministry, and work and schedules, but I try as much as I can to. And you know, there's always something on Instagram, something on YouTube, something on Facebook, and they'll show you, break it down for you. So a lot of that stuff is cool. I try. I'm not one of the greatest run riffs people. I'm not. But you know, I try to enhance it and put it where it needs to be. I'm not one of the most fastest. You know, I don't do all that. I'm just me. I just, you know, some stuff I'll put in. I hang around. I hear you do a lick, and I'm, oh, cool. That's hot.
Very occasional.
So I'll play that lick, you know, I'm one of those, you know, I'll hear something, I'm like, oh man, that's hot. Let me put this in something that I'm playing in. That's pretty much it. I don't necessarily sit there and try to work my fingers over. I'm 55. I'm too old.
I mean, when you first started, do you like sit down at the piano, like do da 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 da, or like do a scale do re mi fa sol la ti do da 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 da?
I can't say that I do. Anytime I start choir rehearsal, back in the day, to warm voices up. I do that to stretch everyone's vocal cords and get them warm. So that I do, but to sit there and do the re mi fa sol, I never did that.
But, you know, still amazes me because last time we were doing something and you were doing like really cool, like next something like that. And I was like, wow, your fingers are quick and like, you know, you can do it with both hands. I think, and I mean that, I don't think that came naturally to you.
No,
you had to kind of like...
It came me playing and feeling something. Because honestly, that day, you and I was vibing. And I was like, okay, let me do about it. Because remember, honestly, I don't know if you recorded it when I was trying to figure it out, trying to learn it, and I was messing it up. So I was like, okay, let me learn it. So I was working with it. Now, if you asked me to go back and play that right now, honestly, I don't remember what we did. But it was just work that night. I don't even know what key we was playing it in, but we was just grooving and it was just jamming. Yeah. So a lot of times, you know, that's what rehearsal does. That's what being around great musicians and people with a lot of creative, you know, juices around you. So you feed off of each other. And so, you know, if you and I were to sit, you know, today and sit and start playing something, you'll probably play something, I may play something, and you're like, yo, dude, that's hot. And we'll incorporate it into whatever we're doing, and then next week we may play something, and something else comes out. So I'm not one of those that's stuck in a box or stuck in a particular circle or anything. I got, like I said, I surround myself with some great friends, Kadeem and TJ and Corey and all these guys, and they are amazing. And they just don't know. I just be sitting there just biting off of them 24/7. Assad, you know Assad. Assad is a great drummer, but an amazing classical pianist. So I learned from him, and he's young kid. So I feel like the moment that you stop learning, I think that's the moment that you become yesterday.
So when you practice a song, do you also practice like this chord progression, let's say 2-5-1, okay? Do you practice this same chord progression in different inversion? You know?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll learn a chord and try to play it where the melody may be my pinky. I may do where the melody may be in the middle. I play the harmony around it. It just depends on where I'm at. Like I say, if I'm playing and I'm not singing, then I'll focus more on being more creative in my chords. If I'm singing, I'm gonna play more simplistic. So it just depends. It just depends on where I'm at, who I'm with. If I'm playing with like with Kadeem and all them, these guys are so amazing. So I'll, you know, play pads and they'll play all the extra extremes, you know, and all that stuff. And then there's times when I'll play a flute solo and they'll play the pad. So it depends on. That's why I say learn all that you can learn.
Right.
If you're playing the organ, learn from some of the great organ players. If you're trying to play, I have a friend called named James White. He's a saxophone player. So I study him. He plays saxophone, and he's like a Kenny G of gospel. So I hang around him.
When you hear maybe something that he plays on his saxophone, that's a cool line, that's a cool lick. You will probably go home and figure that out.
Absolutely,
and try to be able to
absolutely
cool. All right, so last question though. So when you guys come to play together, do you like pull out a chord chart? Okay, this is the chord chart of this song. No. Okay. So let's say if I'm playing with a gospel musician, I don't need to prepare a chord chart or anything, do I?
If you're playing with gospel musicians and you're going to sit in with the band, the best thing for you to do is learn the song. Learn the song, because a lot of times in gospel music, we don't sing it per se like the chart. We may do the verse, chorus, go back to the verse, and the song chart doesn't say that, but that's we may. All right, go on, take it back to the top, and then we may jump to the bridge, and we may get into the vamp and do something, and we may say, hey, you know what? Take me back to the top. We'll do the top, and that's just musician lingo, you know. Come on, like James Brown. Take me to the hook, you know. And you know, if you got a chart, James Brown will blow your chart up, because you thinking that he gonna hit 5 licks. If James Brown may hit 10 licks, get on up, you know. So it's that's it. So you vibe with them, and you bring your creativity.
But let's say I have a song, original song, that I want to bring to a gospel band. I mean, is it helpful that I bring not like a score? Maybe I don't have the notations on it, but I just have like the chords, for example, like
the chords be great. The absolutely,
like that.
absolutely bring it. And but 9 times out of 10, what most musicians going to do, they're going to look at your charts and they're going to, okay, cool, we with that. But what they're going to follow is your lead. They're going to follow where you're going, your voice, your what you're feeling. Unless, like I said, if you're doing a concert, you're doing a recording is different. Black church and recordings are different. Black church is, you got to have the feeling, you got to have the groove, you got to have the mindset, the creativity. It may be in the key of F. We may go up to, one thing about black churches too, they're going to elevate. So you may start in F, you're going to go to the F sharp, you're going to go to the G, you're going to go, and it depends on who is leading the song. If they're going to, like we did the song Sunday, in the sanctuary, we lift our hands in the sanctuary. All right, but the song score goes way beyond what we did. But because of the people that I sing with, their range set is not at, and then plus 2 Sunday, my voice was ripped. Yeah, so there was no way I was going to go as far as Kurt Carr, went with it. So no, so I'm gonna keep it where I'm at. So if you'd have had a chart, you're like, no, we still got 5 more keys to go.
And so we're gonna end the song 5 times.
Yeah, well, you know the song. You think you get done, and the black church gonna come back in again, and they gonna take it up again to the point where you sound like birds chirping in there. So
yeah, I got you, man.
I mean, it's good to have as a format, but don't get so caught on stuck on the charts.
Yeah, cool, man. Thank you, Rexx. Yeah, so this is gonna wrap up our part 2 of this interview. All right, thank you guys. There you had it, Rexx.
Peace.
Yeah.